Call to order Berlin Finance Committee. Open session public meetings are subject to being recorded. Your image and voice will be recorded.
Without their image.
All right. First item business is the meeting minutes from last week.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented from March 18th. Or March 18th.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other comments on them? Right, roll call, Scott, aye.
Mary Ellen.
Sheena, I. Heidi, I.
Okay, the minutes of 3/18 approved 4-0.
I'm asking for amendment to the building inspector's expenses.
Okay, well, why don't we just, we'll start with that one.
Okay. So, do a regionalization, we can cut the vehicle allowance down by $3,228. So the new number is $19,737.
All right, let me just locate the building inspector
right.
here.
49.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so they're being reduced. All right, so it's already on there. They're being
Yeah, I just-
reduced by 2,774 from last year.
Correct, from 26.
Okay. And that was what, because of the vehicle
Right,
allowance?
Right.
All right. So move on that one. I'll make a motion to recommend line item 49, building inspector expenses for $19,737.
Second that.
All right, anybody else have any other questions, comments? Okay, roll call, Scott, aye.
Mary.
Sheena, I. Heidi, I.
Okay, line item 49 recommended 4-0.
So line 79, it was, he asked me to look into the wages for the library and it ended up being, I think, a formula issue, so it's 166.40. It originally said 150, if you remember.
Right, so it was basically the full supplemental that was
Right,
requested
right.
for increasing the hours of the, what was the term that they use, the youth services,
Correct.
from 18 hours to increase it to 30 hours.
Correct.
Okay, so it's the full amount. All right, let me get over there. I'm sorry. All right, library.
Had we voted on line 49 previously,
No.
or are
Yes,
we
we
waiting
had.
for
Yeah,
clarification?
no, you hadn't voted on the library.
Oh,
But
the
not
last 49
library.
is the building
Yes,
inspector.
yes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did, so that's a modification. So now the library, correct, we did not vote on that one because the number was unknown. Okay, so I'll make a motion to recommend line item 79, library wages part-time for $160,640 as recommended by the town administrator and select board.
I second it.
All right, any other questions on that? Okay, this roll call, Scott, aye.
I just want to see. Was that, did you say wages?
Yes, line 79.
Yeah, okay. And we're going up.
Wait.
Well, no.
Yes, you're going up the additional, it was
10,000.
what was printed there, but the total increase on the, for those, that was related to the increasing the hours was, where's the number, $15,650 counted for, well, of that increase, 15,650 comes from increasing those hours from 18 to 30.
So vote aye, yeah. Thank you.
Sheena, I. Heidi, I.
All right, item 79 recommended 4-0.
And the only other one is whether you want to revisit the school, given the recent information as of this afternoon.
Before we revisit the schools, I just want to go back and ask a question. There's things were increased. I mean, I know we would recommend it, but, and I looked, trying to get through all the details of things on the fire EMS wages. I couldn't account for the full explanation for the increase of, so this is line 45. The increase is, a total increase of $75,036 on wages, full-time and part-time. There is a note to the far right-hand side that due to the union negotiations, there is an additional $30,000, which is being offset by $30,000 from library ambulance receipts in the revenue number. So that counted for 30,000, but if you went back to the original submittal of the budget, this is $50,000 high. So accounted for $30,000. I don't know where the other $20,000 jumped into there. I don't see anything that Kristen noted, and I don't have any notes
Do you
if
have any
anybody else
information?
does about where that extra 20,000 on the wages would come from.
Note for 30,000 for increase of part-time callback.
Yes, and we correct. That accounted for 30,000, the 50,000, the remaining 20,000 I cannot account for. The submitted budget is short by, it is recommended is $50,000 less.
I don't know if she put the money in for collective bargaining. I
Um,
don't know that. I don't know what else could it be.
Yeah, I can't account for anything else, where that $20,000 came from. And I can't, unless anybody else has
We
something
have
in
the-
their
I
notes
think I have
that I missed.
Hold on.
I couldn't find anything in the minutes.
So the fire budget. Full-time wages went up from $25,000. From 633 to 659.
Correct, exactly. The 659 is,
5,000.
right, and next, then there's another 50,000 that got added to, because that's what was submitted on the budget. That's where all the wages were accounted for.
Right.
It was a 659, but then it's moved up to 709, an increase of 50,000. We accounted for 30,000 of that, but the other 20,000, I can't find any. And the reason I even came up with this when I was trying to write the report, I can't. I couldn't explain it, so,
That's what was
There
going
is a
on.
notation on the side there that does say 30.
yes, I
Yeah, we
counted
know
for the
that.
30,000, but there's still 20,000
That would have been in-
unaccounted for.
I think we
So
have
why wouldn't
a
that be in,
picture now, I
why
think.
wouldn't that be part-time?
I have a note, Mike, that Mike said there was a total 50,000 increase in expense and wages.
I do, but that's expense and wages, so yeah,
There.
that was the
Not
original amount, and I had the same exact,
Notes.
note, but that, accounts for the 19, the expenses get, oh, no, sorry, the expenses.
18,000, per person for the,
Yeah, but that is part
Right.
of the, article,
Yeah, that was
That's in the article,
72,000 or
yeah.
something like that.
so it's not in the operating, so I don't know, unfortunately, where, I think maybe she had something in her mind on something, or else there was a mistake. I don't know which of the two it is. Because I say I got nothing going back or Kristen discussed that. And like I say, if you bring up the actual budget, you get the 659 number that accounts for, what the wages and salaries and all that type of stuff is. So my one question is there a typo? And then
I can
do
call
I
the
go by
chief.
I was gonna
30,000?
say,
go
I
call the
think we
chief.
asked him about that earlier in the week, I thought, but I don't know.
I can
that.
just go get my phone and call him. While you talk about other stuff.
Yeah, what we do is we'll do the school thing real quick. Then when then
There's a
go and
couple
look at the, and the articles, and then while, we're looking at the report that I submitted a
Okay.
draft for, you can go call them
Okay.
on that,
All right,
right?
okay.
Assuming that's not gonna be late for him or
No,
anything,
no.
or- Okay, so that was the only thing I had an issue with, so I'll just jump to the schools.
Did we get any documentation from the school?
Yeah, well, I talked to the superintendent and the business manager, and they just sent me an email with the new numbers that have to go to the school committee. They haven't been approved, but they're proposing that. So it's on the sheet, just to
Yeah.
show you.
Is it in the Google Drive? The email?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's,
No,
I
email
forward
fine.
you the email, because unfortunately, the email that goes to the finance committee only goes to a single finance committee.
Oh, I didn't know
account.
that, sorry.
So I just saw it when you mentioned it, so I forwarded it to everybody during this meeting.
So the number is 9, so they left obviously the debt and the capital alone, and they cut the operating $157,000. 157,593. Again, that's what they're bringing to the school committee. They don't have any reason not to believe it wouldn't fly, but it's not official.
Did they make any indication as their total changes will?
They didn't, well,
Did they indicate that their total changes would that also fall below Boylston needing a Proposition 2.5 override?
I believe so.
I'm assuming that's probably what they were targeting
Yeah.
on that.
He didn't give me any numbers, but he
Yeah,
said
he
this
just-
would
yeah, we
help
just have-
Boylston resolve their issue.
Okay, so no changes in the capital
Correct.
line items between, and obviously nothing's going to affect the debt repayment. So it's just some combination between BMS
I would try to get that
operating
tomorrow, but I didn't.
and Tohoto operating total
Right,
Oh, yeah,
reduction.
You got this the end of the day today.
right.
So, Scott, I'm wondering if that 157,000 adjustment has to do with Boylston's portion of Tohoto, and they had to drop ours to match what they had to drop Boylston's to.
I don't know, because they
looking
don't
at
have
them.
another, yeah, I mean, I just did first of all, we don't have a breakdown of how they came up with it, whether, between BMS and Tohoto. If you assumed it was all coming from, Tohoto, and if you assume, approximate, use 34% as a number, that would, represent, where Boylston would be a reduction of 450,000.
That's about what
And
they-
ours is, and it's almost scary about how accurate of 450
So
thousand
my guess is plausible. That
So, yeah, I mean, if you did 157,593 divided by 0.34, or maybe it was 0.35, I used it, sorry, I think it was 0.35. 157,593 divided by 0.35 came to 450,265, but it's gonna be somewheres in that range, assuming everything came out of Tohoto operating. We have no weighted to determine that right now. So we had requested or had a recommendation that was $320,000 lower. So after so it's not quite
So they didn't even
half
meet us
of
halfway.
that,
No, no.
right? It's 320,000.
It's 160 would be, yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
But I think you're right, they were probably shooting for the Boylston thing.
So let me give you some comparisons. If we take their number, I'm looking at today's budget with some red numbers in it. It's 9911. Let me just look back at their email.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, all
That's
right,
what
so
their
that-
number is.
So that number is in there, and I don't know if the line 90, if that percent change recalculated automatically.
What are you talking about?
Line
No, I
90.
put that in.
Oh, sorry, 7.3. Up in line 90, where the red numbers are.
Yeah, so.
So the
That's
percent
that's the
change.
FinCom vote, and the new number is 9911,
Okay,
right? Based on what I got
So-
today.
Jeff, in column DH, 7.3%, is that 7.3% Is that the,
Ours
Budget.
was only 5.5.
It was originally 9. If you
Thank you.
remember,
yeah, yeah, okay. So,
I guess you'd have to look at the formula, but I'm guessing that's.
so just for a little reference point, the school committee's budget votes in West Boylston was a 3.1% increase, and the Neshoba School Committee vote was 3.65%, and of course, that's there are different percentages across the towns of Bolton, Lancaster, and Stowe and Neshoba, but so you got, these are the schools in the area, right? So we got one at 3.1% and another at 3.65%. So all the schools are facing the same pressures from the state and transportation
Yeah.
and, special ed,
You got it.
medical insurance and all that. So we're, 7.3 is out of line with normal.
I agree with that.
I've got, you want to put this in the record, I have this is from the item,
I can.
I mean,
Right, in the amount of the total levy increase, also I did a calculation and it comes out to being 5%.
mm,
5% if we do this.
The schools,
The new
yes.
school number.
Yes.
Okay.
and it would
Right.
take an additional 157, 320.
Well, your number came to 4 about.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what remains. in the
Yes,
excess
our
levy.
number is
I
at
was-
4, yeah.
I've been doing numbers today, my brain's fried.
Now, when the cost of health insurance was brought up,
Yeah, it went down significantly.
did that affect
I
numbers
didn't
here
ask, I don't
somewhere?
ask details because I don't really care about details. They give you a number. They just sent this over to me. But I did ask them about I sent an email.
Yep, I saw
Yeah,
that.
so they obviously saved quite a bit of money on that.
Yeah, you are correct on these points. I do understand. We can't reach over and move around their monies. So Jeff, when we did this update on the expenses, did we update the summary in the spreadsheet as well? So the excess levy capacity,
Well, it normally just trickles over.
it should trickle over.
So it was the school, the school budget would be, So was it in the 180 range, if I remember?
Yeah. I think it was
180 was
185 or
25,
something
yeah,
like that,
right.
yeah. This one here is the one that we're showing on the summary sheet.
Yeah, but those don't add up, right?
This one here, the 10.8.
Yeah, but go back to the formula. I think the 10.8 is not really 10.8.
This one here.
Well, it's really gonna be 911 plus 73,000. I think this formula
This one here.
is what, 177, right?
7,
And then it should be Assabet,
79, 83.
and then 183. Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
91.
okay,
So
yep,
that's
that's
right.
right, okay.
So that's based on that
Yeah,
number.
not the
Is
stuff
what the
below,
summary-
because
this one
below
is
doesn't.
not. Yeah, so this one here is not showing over here on the summary.
So if you just,
So if you went with the new number they just sent you last minute, it brings it so that we still have levy of the 343. Which is a difference from the 185.
All right, any other questions on that?
I listened to what just happened, but it's not registering. So when I look at what we voted the number we voted to reduce, it was 320,000 less. And the school
That's-
came back with 150,000 less. The difference is 163,000. Is that reflected in the summary excess levy?
Yes.
So the excess levy went down by 163.
No, went up.
Went up.
Went up.
It was at
It
180.
was 185 because
Here.
the school budget went down. I'm using the school budget's request in that number, not the finance committee's recommendation.
So it went down from the 10 million that starting point with the school budget.
Yes,
Yeah, down to
Okay,
9.
okay.
because
Nine.
originally it was, what was it, 9? I
No,
should know this.
that was
number,
10,069,226.
but There you go, that one, yeah.
Well, what I'm getting to is the difference between what we've recommended, what the
It's
school district is
163,000.
163,000,
Round
that's
numbers,
it.
round
So the excess levy impact is 163,000 if you look at our the
This
two
one.
positions. Yeah, okay.
It's 162.4, yeah.
When you get into the hundreds, I don't care anymore. I
Okay,
just want the
well, it's not a
1,000.
5, so you can't
You
round
know?
up.
I can't think when you, and then somebody really, when they get me like 8 digits and there's 0.36 cents, then I'm really lost.
It's
Just-
under the
I just
5,
want the-
so we can't round up, Mary.
I know.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
So now we vote on that new number.
We'll have yes, we can have a motion to vote.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Yeah, hang on.
Scott.
Yeah.
Anna has her hand raised.
Capital.
Is that something you would be interested in?
She's a
Hearing.
capital.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have to vote tonight?
Oh, the warrant's going out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have to vote tonight, but the warrant's going out on Monday. Tuesday, I should say, the select board are gonna meet.
Well, the reason I ask is I'd like to have a conversation with Boylston and confirm.
Well, the warrant's
assumption
going
was
out, so
made.
it's up, unless you post another meeting.
Okay, Anna, are you
It should have to
there?
be Monday or Sunday or, not Sunday, but.
Yeah, I understand.
Anna, can you,
I can hear you now, or
There
can
we
you hear
go.
me
Okay.
now?
now we can hear you.
Okay. So I just wanted to bring up the school's capital requests. I don't know if you guys have been made aware that the capital requests that were published in a spreadsheet approximately a week ago, I think on the 16th of March, is almost double the number of capital requests that came through from the school in our capital planning meeting in December. So we met with the school. They asked us for 4 items from Tohoto. I'm sorry, 4 items from Berlin Memorial and 5 items from Tohoto. We voted to approve all of those original requests. And then after that period, then 2 months later, we see the spreadsheet that has a bunch more capital requests on it. And those additional capital requests never went through our process. And they were never discussed with us. So we met on Monday night and unanimously voted not to approve those additional requests within our committee. So we approved for them approximately $194,000 worth of capital requests and not the 300,000 that they are currently asking for.
Can we see what those, can we have a comparison? Did you have this here? What we have up is this is the latest from the schools, right?
I believe. so.
Yes, correct.
Do we have a spreadsheet up that shows what was voted on, what was approved by the capital planning?
What do you mean? the original
Um,
one?
Yes,
I
what
don't
they
even know where
actually
it is.
approved.
Hold on, I have a. So the conversation I had today with Anna was 100 grand for Berlin.
Yep.
It was local school and it was, 120, 35, 17, it looks like it came up to, yeah.
it was 94 for
Well,
Tohoto for our share.
Well, I don't know, because you said you approved the first 5 on the list, which was 120 for the student devices. So if that's not a fact. But
That's
what I-
120
Well,
divided by
That's the
2.
ratio.
Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tohoto would be the ratio.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was,
All right.
right,
So looking at this list, I can tell you, for Berlin Memorial, we approved the rooftop unit repairs, the exterior gym door replacement.
Just a moment, like, let
Yep.
me write this down, sorry.
Okay.
So we're looking at the BMS, one, so,
at the top.
okay, so can you start over what you, approved?
Yep, for BMS, we approved the staff and student devices.
Okay, item
The-
line 3, okay,
Line 1 under BMS.
yeah, well, I'll go by column, whatever it is at the left, but yeah, we'll call it 3.
Oh, okay.
since we're there.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the add and replace security cameras,
5, okay,
exterior gym door replacement,
9,
and rooftop unit repairs.
okay, those are the,
Those are the
Capital
4 that were brought to us with quotes, and paperwork for capital request.
And that totals 100,000.
Yes.
okay. Then on the Tohoto side,
And then Tohoto, we did the staff and student devices. But
Yeah,
at that
okay.
point in time, they asked us for 130,000 total dollars for staff and student devices. This list says 120,000.
Okay,
The AC unit replacement,
okay, item 14, all right,
the auditorium projector and lighting,
okay, item 15,
the building lighting controls,
item 16,
and then the middle school furniture, I believe.
middle school
1,
furniture,
2,
item
3.
19.
4. Yep, those 5.
What is that dollar amount equal?
Is that 130, Anna?
So our share was 94,000 and some. Let me see if I
537.
can pull up my email. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in my car and I don't have my paperwork with me.
I believe it was 94, 537, but
Yeah, that sounds about right.
so this number is wrong. Okay, somewhere else. Fucking myself.
So what would the, I don't know what the ratio was on line
Oh, no, it's not.
13, but let's try and figure it out. So it was 6,140. 12, 642.
Okay.
18,060. And 10, 36. 678, and whatever the ratio would be there for, what is that? So if they had recommended 4.3, 4.4. Said they had a number of 130,000, so they must have recommended in that 13 must have been what, 46,956. We
I don't
had
know what you're
that to
talking about.
47.
This one here, they
678.
originally asked for, was it 130 or 135?
She said, yeah, they,
130.
well,
Doesn't matter that-
130.
Yeah.
So whatever the new ratio was, I just calculated, so using the ratio that they used on that to line 13, I come up with a total of 94,634.
Okay, that's different than, okay.
I don't know if we had, I mean,
She had 594, 537, so.
Okay.
Yep.
But I don't,
it makes only $97 difference there.
So those were the amounts that were originally given before you had asked to have them switched.
W-
Some of the,
Right, they
right.
came forward, these things being, to be, initially, the administration came forward to thinking they would be funded by excess and deficiency in one category, and the other one being a school choice. I forget which order that they were at someplace, but one was.
You want me to dig out the presentation?
because originally they had most of these in the operating budget, I believe.
Well, they weren't in actually, well, yeah, I guess they were funding them right through the operating,
Yeah.
adding. So they were slides 37, 40.
Mhm.
37, so the Tahoe ones were all coming from excess and deficiency, and
Is that
which
slide deck you in?
BMS will have been coming from.
Number
school choice.
37,
What date
30.
slide deck?
7 for 225.
225.
The 225?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a more recent one, no? They voted on a slide deck March 10th, which was.
yeah,
a bit
that's what
incom-
this one is.
Um,
That gets sent over to me. That
The
goes to
school
the,
committee voted March 10 on a slide deck.
Yeah.
It was a bit incomplete. So there was one,
After
dated-
that,
there was one dated February something that also had capital numbers. It's a bit of a moving target, I think. Yeah, there's a March 5th. Budget request, well, wait a minute. It was printed on March 5th. It was the March 10, this is what they voted on.
well, that's where you get the 902. It's from the debt and the two numbers I requested.
Right here.
Okay, so their overall, the BMS went up by an additional 69,884. And the Toronto went up. Let's see. A little bit difference on.
Remember,
Hey, Anna, what was the total amount of capital that your committee had approved for both schools? If you're still there.
Sorry, I was
Mhm.
trying to unmute. Total amount of capital was 194,000 537, whatever those last three numbers are.
So it's 100 for BMS and then the 94,000 for Tohoto.
So these others total up combined an additional 150,000 for 24. All right, so we're gonna take a quick look at the capital plan. So, actually, is this not the right? Where's the? Okay, this is the town stuff. Do we have the recommendation amounts for? Do we have that someplace? I thought that was someplace here. Finance committee is just the overall breakdown of how the capital plan of what
Voted for
percentage towards.
11,000 for the library, and that was it.
That was it.
Right.
11,500, and then the public safety mitigation.
Is there more on the ones, there's a little bit to there's a PSM. Can you hit the right arrow there just to the right of that?
That's public safety,
Oh,
local receipts.
Yeah. When it doesn't show up.
Where did we pull that up from? Was it a separate spreadsheet last week?
I don't have anything here on free cash.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
Goes along with your TV problems. You have the capital? No, the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one that I
that's
just
on the
had
sheet,
up
right,
there.
yeah.
When I click on the free cash tab, something comes up.
Oh,
Let me check mine.
Something hidden. Is it- oh,
You're all the way to the
I'm getting
left.
you can have the amount.
What would you like, Jim?
Scott was looking for something.
Well, looking for the ratio based on, yeah, here we go. We got general stabilization 10%, OPEB 10%. Capital stabilization. So capital plan was this. Let's see. Capital plan is up to 30%, 863,858. And using the BBRS. Though this number is using this one here is using what we got, I think, right? Is that totaling 344, 961?
Yeah, that's what they requested.
Okay, so this is updated to that one.
Correct.
So with that amount, it falls within the range of the capital plan.
Right.
What we don't have is any information about what, no, more details about what, like say estimates and stuff like that on these other items.
So if capital planning did not vote to approve everything on the list, only approved what was here, shouldn't it be removed?
Well, then
here?
you're gonna cut you're gonna cut the school budget even more.
So-
That you're just going down a slippery slope.
So what are the additional items exactly, what
It's all
they
coming out of
are?
free
So
cash.
3,
You're gonna
5,
pay me now or pay me later, right? When it comes to capital.
so you have so basically we have line for pre-K grade 3 math curriculum. And this is on BMS. So 43,384 was added. And then line 6 shed for storage 5,000. classroom projector and boards, 15,250. The walkie-talkie upgrade, 6,250. So those are the four added items on BMS. And then the added items on Tohoto are, let's see, 13. So we have what, the classroom projector boards, our share 11,017, wireless access points, our share 28,896. Then we got the Lego comp science and AI bundles or whatever those acronyms are. 6,502, field line painter and more, 9,391, school van, 21,672, walkie-talkie upgrade, 4,410, and the AVI curriculum, 2,167. Our share of those numbers. So those are the added items.
So Scott, our number, unless I added wrong, this is what the school committee voted on the 10th.
Yeah, three,
These two numbers, this is for Berlin, the elementary
Right.
capital, the elementary.
344, correct.
Well, so maybe I added wrong. I had ended up with 345,066, but I probably added wrong. Let me check it. These are the right numbers, aren't they, Scott? What I'm looking at in there.
Should be 169, 175.
169, 884, 175, 182.
I came up with that same number. I don't know what these two
What did we
numbers are.
come up with?
Right here, I penciled it. I just did it twice unless I keyed it wrong twice.
So 169, 84 plus 175, 182, totals 345, 066.
So they gave us the wrong number.
Well, what's the number? Is that the number they gave you? 344,
No.
961?
No, they gave it three, so. 9, 2, 6. What's the debt?
557,335.
So if you take the debt out of the 902, 296, it's 344, 961. And that's, so they gave us the number of capital, 902, 296. If you back out the debt, comes to 344, 961. So
So Jeff, this is what the school committee voted on March 10. That's what
Well-
I'm working from. So
I know, but they tell you what they sent me
Okay.
today.
you got it?
No, remember there was an error. They did 902, 296 on the letter.
Ah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then 902, 401. Does
So the
that?
correct number is, this is wrong in the slide that they
This is
voted on?
Correct, that's correct.
This number is.
We
wrong.
don't know which one.
We
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
which
Remember?
one.
We
I
don't
do
know.
remember, thank you.
Because this is.
All I know is twice they sent us the 902.
They're both 902. What
She's
is
just looking at the 100 and the tens and the ones,
Right.
not unlike me. She's looking at the whole number. And you're correct.
right? This,
One says
this page-
296, the other says 401.
correct. Does that make up your difference of what you?
I think it's
What-
going to.
So again, what they sent me today was 902, 296.
902, 296, which is on the second page of their letter, but on the front page of their letter, there was
Was
that error, yeah.
The one that they, before they fixed it.
Does that make the difference of what you, the 344 and the?
Well, it's
We're
like,
about to do that.
it's $100 on 300, 400, 300,000, right?
What were they saying? 344, how much?
4961,
344,
961. Is that what you have?
105. Is
Yeah.
that the difference?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the problem.
No.
They got an error in their numbers.
That's their problem. I think they can make do.
We'll take the low one. Mhm.
So
Take the
I-
low one.
We always take the low one. Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily saying cut their budget. I'm not understanding the process here of going to the capital committee to get things recommended and voted on, and then having a list that doesn't match that.
Well, because they came up with it, so when they came, I wasn't here, but the FinCom wanted them to cut operations. Remember? You didn't want to necessarily have them cut the capital because that came out of free cash. So they kind of did a flip flop when they sent you the 10,069. They added a little more to capital and cut operation. Because the number was higher. Because you were trying to get them to do that, right?
Mhm.
So they get their money in one way or the other.
Well, no, that's apples and oranges. Capital is, you know,
Well, it wasn't a direct swap.
no, but
It's the
but that
usual.
was kind of the theme. So I mean, they probably have a $10 million backlog in capital. If I know any public entity, so.
Yeah, and they got 2.2 million in excess. Hello, and that's not counting the school choice or circuit breaker monies or any other.
Yeah, but if you
Doesn't-
want them to cut, you don't. I mean, you want operational.
Well, yeah, that's the discussion that I was having, which
Right.
is reluctant to move some of that excess over to operational, just like we're not wanting to move free cash over to operational. So we're both having the same concern about our budgets. But it's unfortunately making us do numbers on the fly in the very late stage of the budgeting
Yep,
process, which is
absolutely.
when you make mistakes.
Well, in the end, you can always amend it at town meeting, right?
Well,
If you get more information.
yeah, that's got its own complexities.
I think the school's on the fly.
It is.
You know, they're trying to figure out what to do, and so the numbers change and we're.
Jeff, this is year 4 of that, okay? Used to be, people were buttoned up. Year 4 of this.
Okay.
That's why I lose my patience.
But I thought they've been making progress.
They are,
Okay.
Yes.
but you know, we're still where we're sitting. It's
Mhm.
March 25th and
Mhm.
you know. For whatever reason, the school committee wasn't meeting for 2 weeks, so they took a vote March 10th and that wasn't, you know, things weren't baked at that point. And they took a high vote saying that it was the ceiling. That's what was published in the paper anyway. But that was a ceiling budget, so they apparently gave permission to the business office to move the numbers not up, but down, and that's where we're sitting now is what should those numbers be? We're moving them down, and Anna has the vote from the capital planning because unfortunately we didn't include them in this conversation about moving back and forth between capital and operational, so they voted no on the higher capital. That's where I think that's where
Okay.
we're sitting. Anna, I'm
Right.
talking about you. I don't
Okay.
know if you're I'm getting it accurately, but
It
Yeah,
sure
we
sounds
also
about
kinda had-
right.
sorry.
Oh, I said it sure sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said what we're looking at here was about double what the capital planning group had originally approved.
That is correct, yes.
Thank you.
Which is about how much they cut the operational budget.
Yeah. And so Anna, I want to apologize for forgetting you.
Yeah, don't worry. Somebody put us back in the loop. We're just causing waves at the end. That's all.
Oh, well, all right. She's only 2 doors up the street from me, so I could have just stopped in and said, hey, Anna.
Right. Next
Messing
year.
with your money.
And unfortunately, we don't have a liaison from the finance committee
We
to
don't
the
have a
capital
liaison.
plan.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
Yeah, we're-
matters any.
We don't have
We're
Anna
missing you guys.
the Thursday evenings, so that's been a problem for us.
Oh, okay. We could try to fix that.
Well,
Anna, just for my notes, what is your last name?
It's Crane, Crane.
Thank you.
Yeah, just look at Mary Porter's schedule and just shift your meeting to when she's available.
You know, you're not gonna find much space there, Scott.
Yeah, right. That's why I laughed. I get it.
Okay, so basically, I mean, what we know is we have it down to is, I mean, there were the late additions that they were talking about, funding through excess and deficiency and school choice. We did make the recommendation to the administration to, they could, use the excess and deficiency and school choice money to offset operating, and then move those other items all as capital items, which added things to the capital budget. That obviously, got to very late to the capital planning committee. They did not recommend those additional items. But it was part of what finance committee, asked the administration to do as part of it. We were hoping too that the money that they saved there would be used to offset the operating budget with the school choice and excess and deficiency at that time. Okay, so that sums up where we are, at least with the capital items. So now we go back to the original number. So they have requested. So the new number that, the single number that they're providing is $9,911,633, which is a 7.3% overall increase from fiscal year 26, which represents a change of, so this is change of what, $676,058. Which represents $162,407 more than the finance committee recommended last week, where finance committee's recommendation would have resulted in a 4% levy increase. This puts us at a 5% levy increase. That's the summary I can have. Anybody else want to clarify? Okay, so we need to look at this new number. All right, so I'll make a motion. The motion is to recommend line item 90 or $9,911,633 as provided by the administration. Is not a number I know that's not been voted on by the school committee. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion, anything people have? This is the big item.
Yeah, I'm profoundly disappointed in what the district office offered us here, and I'm gonna say it again. That the school budgets approved by school committees in the vicinity, West Boylston, the increase was 3.1%. The Neshoba School Committee overall increase was 3.65%. We're looking at a 7.3% increase out of BBRSD. And I don't think we ought to approve it. I don't think we should recommend it. It's out of line with historical values for our town and for all the towns around us. And, we put a number out there that we think is realistic here on our operating budget, and I want to see the town financial situation to be as healthy as we can make it. And I'll say again what I said before, that we've been starving town operations to feed the school requests, and I think it's time to take a break from that.
Don't you think that this budget reflects a better position for the town side of the budget by recommending some of the positions that were added?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Well, no, it's towards,
We're doing more.
the town side tried to restore some things or get into a better position than we have been in the past.
We are in this budget, and I don't want to see a negative financial impact on the town when we're trying to take care of some of these things in the town we've neglected. I want to give the schools less money this year. Because, I'll say it again, our district requests are out of line. They're out of line with
I don't,
people
but
similarly situated.
I don't know if that's even relevant in all due respect. You don't know what other schools got before. You don't know how many their enrollment is. You don't know what they're doing for capital, et cetera, et cetera. So
Okay.
just because someone's going up or down, it, without all the facts, it's hard, and, enrollment's doing in each place, et cetera. So I think you have to make a decision based on your community and the schools. I just think, they've made a good effort to come halfway, and is it worth losing the whole thing? And they get what they want, or do you take the deal and you're 50% better than you were a week ago?
I think it's insulting.
Why?
I've been in this conversation repeatedly and I think coming to us with an original budget at 9% was insulting. I think the small amount of the change that they put on the table today at almost 5 o'clock, end of the afternoon, no. I want to see more out of this district. Jeff, they're sitting on 2.2 million in excess funds. Okay. So I don't see the district in need of a 7.5% increase. It doesn't match price increases across. I mean, I don't see a basis for it. We haven't had a fundamental change in the school operations to justify this. The cost of medical insurance has gone down. Our premiums have gone down. That seems to be pretty universal.
It didn't go up as much.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the rate
right,
of change has
Right.
dropped. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm misspeaking. So, I'm reluctant to continue to load the tax levy for our residents. If somebody made a case to me out of the school district that they had a genuine need this year for this kind of money, I would support it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not hearing it.
Come before you?
Yeah, they've been before us twice.
Yes.
Basically to present the budget.
Okay.
Yes,
But obviously
yes.
not at 5 o'clock tonight.
No. And when I've had that one-on-one conversation as well about, see, I watched this stuff through the COVID years and all that. There was a lot of uncertainties in other years.
Right.
I don't see us as having that. And I keep going back to the note that our prior town administrator here put in our local newsletter after last year's town meeting, that the town operating budget went down by $17,000. And that's not a lot, but that was a negative year over
The
year.
fixed cost, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right.
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 So, and it was due to these kinds of increases in the school budget, which is half of what we fund here.
Right.
So I'm not inclined to accept that number, not at all.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm just looking at it from last year. So last year we got into a recommended budget that everything would recommend it at 4%. And that had us, less, it was $108,000 short of what the school committee had last recommended. And then we went to town meeting and they, presented their additional the 108,000, which passed. This time we were at we voted last week, which was also to being at 4%. That was $162,407. Now there's a couple of things that changed in the town one, right? We have another 10,000 on library. We just pulled like $2,700 out of the expense line item. So there's a couple of things that tweak that stuff. So this time, you're looking, we're short, essentially that $162,407. So that's gonna go before town meeting. I mean, that's where basically the battle is going to be had. That's where the vote will happen because we do have the excess levy capacity. We know that there had to be some level of cuts. I don't know how they were broken down because clearly we got a reduction. So I'm assuming good chunk of those cuts probably came at Tohoto, so Boylston could avoid a Proposition 2.5 override. So I think right now going forward is you're better off just not turning this into this particular fight over this dollar amount for this year, and be dealing with the fight that's going to be coming soon with especially I think next year, Boylston is right on the edge, and we're getting closer each time. And at least this time, looks like we would at least be, maybe 3 years away from a override needed at the present rate of spending, assuming this same level of revenue growth. So that's my
Scott,
thoughts on it.
The thing is, though, is year after year, it's okay, it's only $100 and something thousand, this year. It's only another $100 and something thousand, it's like. It could, in the big picture of things, maybe to some people, $100,000-$200,000 doesn't seem like a lot of money. But when you keep okaying that year after year after year, how many more years
It's cumulative.
can the taxpayers here in town keep taking that hit? And the focus is just always, I know we're talking about the school budget, but the town budget overall needs to be fair and equitable to all the residents in the town, not just the families that have school age kids. And those are the residents in town that are taking this hit year after year after year.
And those residents in town are the ones that can show up and vote. I mean,
know.
unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. If they don't show up and vote, I mean, we do have such a small percentage that show up of the voters at town meeting. It's just a matter of whatever sides bring the people out for it. So we've really got, they had the chance for their say. And it'd be a matter of which side, gets better representation there.
Well, Scott, our recommendation is independent of what people who in town shows up to vote. It really is independent. And
Yeah.
That cumulative effect, I don't think that we ought to just accept that our tax levy is going up around 4% year after year after year. I don't think we should accept that. So,
Okay.
and I look at the excess levy capacity, and that was an indicator that 2 or 3 years ago, yes, we could work comfortably in that excess levy capacity. I'm not so comfortable with it, and I'm very uncomfortable with asking taxpayers, residents, we're 36% senior population, I think the number is.
Yeah.
And I like to tell people a number of those seniors have grandchildren in our schools, so it's not like people don't like the schools, but and I also, I'm going to say again, I haven't observed a need in our schools that's extraordinary. I got the finance director explained to me, and it's in the slides, that in that excess funds, that there's an amount designated $600,000-700,000 that is, no, not that much, 500,000, that is quote unquote Boylston capital. What does that mean? And when you see the slide, you can see that Tohoto capital's not been put in the number on the slide that was voted March 10th because they have that slush fund to go to. They don't have to go to Boylston for it. They can go into the excess funds that are sitting in their excess and deficiency report. And a chunk of it is designated as Boylston money. So maybe I just didn't understand.
Well,
But
there was one clarification. I mean, when I spoke to the Boylston Finance Committee, You're describing it as Boylston money,
No.
generic,
No,
but
the
it
finance
is,
director described it.
well, when I talked to Howard, he indicated it was Boylston Elementary School capital, accounts that were actually there, not specifically just Tohoto. That was actually Boylston Elementary. And you actually do see that on the last budgets that they gave us that we got last week that were at the very end. I guess the number, no, it sounds like it's around like 492,000. I mean, we've always done, with our capital planning team and going and presenting it to the towns, we've done a very good job of, communicating what the capital items the school tends to use them for. And also the schools have been very good working with us about if they have any excess or if they change to what those capital funds would be used for, and have communicated to us. I don't know how that's run on the Boylston side. It sounds like there's some communication issues that happen or something, because even, the finance committee seemed to not be aware that there were things that were approved from the capital or taken for capital that were not somewheres used by Boylston Elementary. And then you do see it on those sheets, because you see that I think they had like 189,000, and then
Yeah.
they mentioned in there that it's coming from their excess that they've accounts there. And I don't even know if the administration knows what they are, because they may be dating back from a number of years, but it was specific, at least what I was told, is that it's specific to Boylston Elementary.
So from an accounting perspective, Scott, and this is not my world, but my understanding was the excess that was reported was in the general funds and not into funds that were specifically allocated. So again, I come back to, why do you have that earmark within the excess funds, which should be the general fund in the school? I don't, maybe I've got it wrong from the accounting perspective.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
don't
how
have to take that
that's,
distinction. Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, what we know is, I mean, going back to the previous administration, and who knows for how long, I mean, the numbers were not kept very well. And
well, they were until Jeff Zangi left as the superintendent. Things prior to that just ran kind of like clockwork. So,
but yeah,
at least my time on this committee, they did.
okay, so I mean, do you have anything, you want to add? Three of us have spoken, so did I want you to be the shy away? Okay, I think we're done with discussion on this. Okay, I don't know where the vote's gonna go, but roll call on Scott, aye.
Scott, could you state the motion again, just so I'm clear on what I'm
The
voting?
motion is to recommend line 90, the Berlin Boylston Regional Assessment for $9,911,633 as provided by the administration. It's not a number that's been voted on by the school committee.
Right.
And I already seconded that, right?
Yes, we had seconded. We had our discussion,
Okay.
we got our venting out.
Okay.
And I got my first vote in.
Your first vote. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm voting no.
Sheena, I.
Heidi, no.
Okay, so the recommendation is it's not recommended 2-2.
Can we look at your report? I don't want to be calling the chief at 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we can look at our report.
And
I'll agree with that. All right, let's swing over to, can you bring up the other email? Actually, I'm gonna probably type into it, so maybe I can,
What is it that you're looking for?
we're gonna modify our report.
This draft report.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, hang on. 1 second. That one?
Yeah, well, do you
want
want,
me to-
can you edit for us?
I don't know. if I can or I can't.
If you download it, you'll be able to,
If you open it with the Google Doc.
or you can.
Okay. So what do I need to do? Oh. So if I open it,
Yeah, I sent it as
Download?
just an attachment, yeah, so it's not in it's just a link.
let me see, I gotta get it on my computer, right?
Just as long as we have just one editing source, that's all we want to.
Where would it?
I know I didn't set this up until whatever time.
I had a chance to review, so I can give you my straight up edits.
I was gonna say, so for whatever reason, it's not showing up as it being downloaded when I download it.
While she's doing that here, Scott. Overall operating increase, right? And
Yeah.
I think we're not really sure about, I mean, some of these numbers we're gonna have to leave, and balancing this budget requires cuts by both the town, right? Cuts, missing a word.
Did I have it? Let me just see what I had on there. Yeah, actually, I think that last part is that last sentence is just a leftover. I really didn't, it was also something that was, so the real numbers I needed was, I needed to know what the overall spending recommended is, the percentages.
So I got the chief on the phone.
Yeah.
Hey,
So, we're at the finance committee, chief. So they know the part-time was $30,000, and then you're saying the wages, we were told to put in the 5.5, whatever percent, 5 or 6% that everybody's gonna get. So,
Right.
so,
So that so when we put into those, I mean, what you have in your original budget submittal, you see those, increases basically from the percentages, the steps and, COLA on there. And that, showed the number being, those exactly $50,000 shorter than what the town administrator had, recommended. Now we see that 30,000 and 50,000 comes from, there's a note about the union contract regarding 30,000 for callbacks.
oh, it's
part-time
part-time, that's not
callback.
union, that's,
Oh, I thought that was
Oh,
listed someplace that was one of the
Callbacks
notes.
are based on town colas as well as a step.
right,
Yeah, but
okay.
the actual.
What is it, 44?
It's the. It says includes $30,000 increase for part-time callbacks as required by union.
Where's the fire?
Right here.
709.
So it was as required by union, and then, and which also mentioned that we had additional $30,000 in ambulance receipts, reserved was added in to offset that. So when,
That's where we asked them the question,
What?
the 125 versus the 175 in the ambulance receipts. So it was here.
What was, say that again?
So originally, when we talked to the chief on whatever day it was this week, about before we were doing the transfer from the ambulance fund of 125, but this year we went up to the 175. And we had the amounts increased to go into the line item.
Oh, because of the ALS? Chief, the ambulance receipts are going up?
The ambulance receipts will probably go up a little bit. They won't go up considerably until we get until we probably go to the paramedic level if we make it
Okay.
to that area. But increasing it, it still leaves us with over $100,000 each year that's
Okay.
going into the capital plan.
But, so the question I think, Scott's asking is, there's some gap.
there's a
of-
$20,000
gap.
gap that we don't have any explanation for. It's not in your budget submittals. It just shows up, on the, like say on the, budget listing, that was, recommended by the town administrator and select board.
Can you go back?
And that, but there is a a note regarding that $30,000, so that counts for 30 of the 50,000. It's just the other 20,000 that we just have there's no documentation or any explanation where that extra 20,000 suddenly pops up at.
And is that in the salaries or is that in the?
It's in,
expenses?
it is in
Salary.
the salaries.
And I'd have to look to see if that was if she was doing that for the contract negotiations, because the $30,000 isn't for the union members.
Right, it's
That's
on you.
correct. That's the call firefighters for when it brings them up to getting a 3-hour minimum when they come back for calls versus a 2-hour minimum that they get right now. They get less than the full-time people. So that's where that $30,000 was coming from. And I don't know if, the $20,000 was coming to make up the difference, that she wanted looking at contract negotiations, if that's what she was looking at, and that's where that money was coming from. I'll have to go back into my notes because I just don't have them in front of me just to look to see where that $20,000 is going to.
Are you just going into contract
Can you move that
negotiations, or
over?
you had a?
No, we haven't started yet.
We haven't started yet. And
No,
that
that
money
maybe-
was allocated into the HR line item.
No, no, there's money in everybody's budget for the COLA and the,
Well, right,
Step
under the
raise.
present,
under the
under
president's
present
system.
system, right.
Right.
And then she added additional funds for depending on how much they're in the HR line item, is what she places them, for what to account for anything that's when the new contract comes into effect. Are you in this will be the first year, so is the contract presently
June
ending
30th.
June 30th?
Right.
Right, so you can just guesstimate right now going to the next year. And yeah, the HR line item is where Kristen would place
Right, there's money,
yeah.
yeah, in case
Yeah.
it's an extra 15, whatever the
Right.
number is, right.
Yeah, but that's where she would place it, not in the actual line item, in the salaries, so
No, no,
that's.
no, it's in the salary account. What they would be entitled to without a collective bargaining.
Well, you're right, no, that was
Right.
already part of
Right.
what we
Okay.
had in there,
Okay.
but that was, you got the 659,000 number, but then it suddenly jumped it went to 709,000. And I can't account for that full 50,000.
Well,
Unfortunately,
you
Kristen
account
probably
for
knows.
$30,000.
Well, you account for 30,000, we
Right,
just can't
20.
account for the other 20,000. I mean, it might have been one of those things that she had the discussion at select board meeting during that time, but unfortunately, we never was brought back up in the finance committee.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can dig anything up when I'm talking on the phone and stuff, but I don't have a specific answer for that just because I'm not looking at the budget spreadsheets at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping that, like I said, I couldn't find any note. I was hoping maybe I just missed something or somebody would know. But it looks
Were you
like,
adding any staff?
Yes, we've added 2 additional full-time staff that we just hired in the last 4
Right,
months.
but not in next year's budget.
In this year budget, we're looking at trying to, it's going to be, and one of the things we're looking at was trying to add 2 additional ones, which would eliminate me having part-time firefighters covering shifts because we'd have full-time 24/7. And that is one of the things we're looking at doing for next year, kind of at the end of this budget cycle, seeing where we were at and just moving funds next year to cover the full-time salary for a total of 8 people, 2 per shift. We have 6 right now that cover the shifts, so we're 2 short.
yeah, that was the only other one I saw, but
Yeah,
that was
there-
not under her
For a
recommend.
deputy chief.
Yeah, and that one for her supplemental, it wasn't listed.
Okay.
Was there anything, where you had the expectation that, because you had one thing listed on your supplemental for 30,000 for a deputy chief?
Yes. That, but I don't think that $20,000, I don't think that was put towards it, but if it was, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we weren't aware
Yeah, I
either
don't
that,
think so
she
either.
has a list of what, she was recommending for supplemental, and that was not one of them. Right, so we
Don't
have
have an
the,
answer for
we
you.
have the, okay. Well,
Yeah.
at least we've dug through it. I said I couldn't answer it, so I feel
Okay.
better that, well, I don't feel good. I was hoping I could just.
I didn't answer.
I was hoping somebody I just missed something. All right, we'll
So
get,
Thank-
It's the error.
Thanks, chief.
we don't know. Unfortunately, next.
Fine, and-
Okay, ciao.
Okay, we can,
Bye.
Thanks, chief.
we can go back to that, but that's. Let's just take a look at, the letter.
So, Scott, could we do this by email and okay on it if we understand what that $20,000 if Chief McClellan.
Well, here's my dilemma, you know, the warrant's going to the publisher on Tuesday. So unless you have a,
Tuesday, the 31st.
yeah, well, the select board are gonna sign the warrant on Monday.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna show up on to
Okay.
the warrant. And then it's gotta go to the publisher. So it can get out and to everybody's,
So well, my question was if Chief McClellan can check his budget numbers and maybe let you know, could we take an okay by email? We'd be all right doing that.
I don't think you can do by email. What we
No, you
can,
can't.
what I would recommend doing is we can go back to that one because we can't count for it. I'm gonna make a motion to recommend the number that's 20,000 less.
Yeah.
And we'll vote on that.
Okay,
And my argument will be on is that we can always, can amend things at town meeting. If we,
Mhm.
once we have more clarification. I'd rather go that way than have $20,000 that we can't account for.
understood.
That's not.
No, I agree.
Can we amend at town meeting for an increase?
No.
Because it's our recommendation. We can,
it's gonna go in
It
probably
has
with the
to-
full amount.
yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna go as a full amount. We're not gonna change their number or what they,
Oh, we're
It's-
just gonna change our recommended
our
number.
recommendation.
Okay,
Yeah.
And then if we can't then it can get amended on the floor down.
Yeah.
If we don't have the facts. That's what, yes.
I mean, if you want, we can just have the discussion now or do it now and see, we'll see if that's how we.
Do you have
want to
another
vote.
meeting scheduled?
No,
Okay.
well, nothing before,
Nothing Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
do we want to?
I'm not gonna be able to attend Monday, so we could, but, if anybody else can't attend Monday, then it'll be useless. So. Is everybody available Monday?
Monday's what, date 30th?
Yeah.
I could, it's a select board meeting, right? I could be there.
If it's to our benefit, I can definitely.
Well, if we get the facts between now and then, I can change the budget for the select board. You know, if
Yeah.
I get the information tomorrow and there's some kind of gap that we don't have an answer for, I can put that in front of the select board on Monday night.
Okay. So what we can do
Right,
is.
right.
All right. So
I mean, I don't think you're gonna say, we're not gonna spend more money than we need, so. So I could just put that in front, because I already have a list of 3 or 4 things for the select board that, like you voted on, reducing some of those budgets and
Right.
adjustments, so I have like 3 or 4 of those. Cause they voted a long time ago on all these, so
yeah.
I could add, if between June and the chief and I, we can't make ends meet. Then we can reduce the request.
You can just reduce, okay. We want to just do that or have a?
Yeah, I
change our recommendation?
we have to have the backup. We can't show up at town meeting and say, well, it doesn't add up to X. So I can meet with the chief tomorrow, and if I have to call Kristen, I'll get her on
So
the
you're
phone.
both recommending that we vote a $20,000 lower level.
No, I'm saying don't vote anything. I'm
Don't vote
saying you can do that. Well.
Because we
Well,
can,
I-
oh,
because
'cause
we
it's gonna
can
go
always
in the
amend
warrant.
it
It's good.
down.
Recommendation goes in the warrant, correct?
Yeah,
Yes, and
Okay,
we
okay.
already voted to recommend that.
Right, you
The
did.
higher number.
Yeah,
the higher
just,
number.
we didn't have enough time, this obviously just came up, so.
You can
So-
also state what your recommendation is, I believe, at the town meeting floor too.
yeah, exactly. That's why.
You can say to be made on the town meeting floor.
Well, we don't have a separate thing for that one line item. No,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
have it
it's-
for each of the
you get public
articles.
se- yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
we don't
public
really
safety,
have that.
right,
It's
right.
gonna be in that. We don't show the individual
Yeah, no, I
votes
get
in
that,
each of
right.
those.
But we could get up at town meeting and say we want to lower it by 20,000. Our recommendation would be for X rather than Y. That's printed in the budget, or printed in the warrant.
We can do that or the other way around.
Joan said we can't go up.
You
Our
can't
recommendation,
increase what's posted there for the
we,
requested.
yeah, they're gonna have, the requested number isn't gonna change.
Okay.
We're
Unless
not
we
changing the
change it.
requested number. All we're
Oh,
doing
is
is
it
doing our
Our
recommendation number.
recommendation.
We
That's right.
can move that around as long as it doesn't go above the,
Yeah.
the requested number.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of, do we do it, do the lower number and then, and then if we have the information, recommend up, or wait, and then if we don't get the information, we recommend down that time. That's where we just,
I think we should leave it how we have it now. And then if it needs to be, if we need to change our recommendation, do it at
Later.
town meeting.
okay.
Then we're
That's,
done tonight with that one.
All right, we can go with that unless somebody wants to make a motion to do otherwise. I'm fine with that.
And let's see what,
Well, let me ask you a question. Can you make a motion to mirror the select board's position?
we'll do what they do.
Well, if they go over it, you've already voted,
They did it to you with the schools.
right?
This one's easier.
They actually,
You know what I mean? If we come up with the, if the numbers don't match and they lower the amount and you've already voted to match the select board's recommendation, wouldn't that solve the problem?
I want to tell you,
So
Jeff,
the-
you're thinking well for this time of night. Let's do that.
No, for the sake of the
Yeah, yeah, sure.
warrant.
For the sake of the warrant. Now let's do it.
He is.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
okay,
Good.
so, so you do the motion.
I move that the finance committee recommend to follow the select board recommendation on line 44, the fire and EMS salary.
45
Excuse me,
45.
line 45,
wages, full-time and. part-time.
wages full-time
Yeah.
and part-time.
Okay, I second that. All right, any more discussion on that? Okay, roll call, Scott, aye.
Mary, I.
Sheena, I.
If we get-
Yeah,
If we get the information tomorrow, I'll send that out.
Okay,
Okay.
That's
Thank you.
grand.
We have a couple warrant articles.
so we want to just do the warrant article.
Yeah, we got
finish
the
those?
snow and ice deficit,
Okay,
at 46,748.99.
so. Why, and it's the last one, so right there, we know.
One more time, Jeff, that number.
46,748.99.
.99, thank you. Oh, you don't care about the snow and the salt and the ice.
Even just make it- just make it 46,750, you know?
What?
Where did you have that?
It was
Steve?
too good to the.
It's in the warrant. What do you mean?
Gee, you're not letting you get away with anything.
Yeah.
What article?
46,748.90. That's what you gave me.
No, I was just trying to pull it up on the screen.
Oh, it's in the warrant.
The annual. Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Yeah, it's in Article 4.
Article 4 of the warrant.
Well, yeah. It was 6, but
Oh, yeah, I have this.
some of these might get renumbered, so.
On my list I had last week of
So
the,
Jeff, that number goes to what we're spending, we spent this year. No,
Right? Yeah, it's for the deficit.
As
that's
of-
for the deficit.
As
As
of
of-
today.
As of today, that is the total amount for the snow and ice expenses.
So that's a fiscal year 26 deficit that
Correct.
that we want to
Yes.
fill with the warrant.
And it's better to do it with free cash versus we'd have to raise it on the recap sheet.
Sure.
so what again was the number? It was,
46,748.99.
Really, 99 cents?
Well, otherwise you have to,
This is the public's money. Come on, Scott. We may not have pennies anymore, but we count them.
You can choose, you can round it up, but not down, please.
yeah.
Even Sheena agrees with that. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm?
All right, I'm going to.
It's gonna be 4 now, but it
right.
was 6.
The motion is to recommend Article 6, snow and ice deficit for $46,749 from free cash.
Seconded.
All right, any other discussion?
Is it,
Okay.
say 49?
Yeah, 49.
Okay. I gotta change
Uh,
that.
Roll call, Scott, aye.
Mary, aye.
Sheena, aye.
Heidi, I.
All right, Article 6 recommended 4-0.
46,740. Okay. Well, the other one was the stabilization. And I do have a typo in there. That's Article 9. And so the capital committee recommendation, I don't know where I got $657,000, but it's 206,037, I believe, for capital, which is the 194 and the 11.5. But transfer 507,397 from free cash to stabilization. If you remember, the capital committee wanted, you didn't appropriate as much capital as you can normally appropriate.
Right.
And so they wanted to put more money back into the stabilization account.
Does that still leave
So
us
the- so-
sufficient funds that we keep free cash at a, to
Yeah.
cover the
Right,
capital?
yeah, so
of
this
the
would
school?
be, so I took the 344,961 plus the 11.5, which is in the two capital. I added those up. And then the 30% of the free cash was 800 and whatever, 800 and something thousand. So the net was 507,397.
Okay,
So if you want to put more money in there, that would be
So
this.
instead of them spending it, they just put it aside into capital for
right.
in future.
Yeah, next one we have.
Oh, it's 863, 858 is the 30%.
The 30%.
Right. So I just
And
took
this
the-
would be the remaining amount.
Yeah.
so I just took the difference between the school capital and the town capital to come up with that 507,397.
Okay,
Article 739, is that also reflected in the budget tab for free cash or no?
I don't know, she couldn't pull it up for some reason. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see,
the number is
dollar
returning, so the 863,
It's Article 9.
858, and with this,
yeah, so I have 356 in the description, 461.
So the balance that is available from that would be the 507,397.
That's what I have.
Yep.
If you can, is that the formula? Right,
So it's got this,
right.
863, 858. And if we take out the
356
library
in the
and-
school,
and the school,
right.
that leaves us with a balance of the 507 to put into capital stabilization for future.
Ah, okay, I see it now. There it is. Yeah. Thank you.
okay. I'm gonna make a motion to recommend Article 9, transfer funds to the Capital Stabilization Fund of $507,397 from free cash.
Seconded.
Maybe we have a second. Anybody else have any questions or anything on what we just calculated? All right, roll call, Scott, aye.
Mary, aye.
Sheena, aye.
Heidi, I.
Okay, Article 9 recommended 4-0.
Good.
I think so. Was that it? Was
You
that-
did in the letter,
Yeah,
right?
we're doing the letter and we
Yeah.
still have to do the,
Oh, the reserve fund.
we want to do the reserve fund just to make sure that's the important one that we don't want to walk. over.
Yeah, I mean,
I need you to okay it first,
yeah,
please.
I'm signing. Ready. It should be no shock to anybody that our
Increase.
fuel oil bill is out of money. And your budget for next year is gonna be woefully short. We were paying we pay $2.99 a gallon right now,
Mhm.
and the market is $5 a gallon
Plus,
plus. And so I know you only put $55,000 in the oil budget, but you're probably gonna need 70.
If prices stay, they're all over the place.
Well, there's,
Likely,
but they're not gonna be $2.99 a gallon.
no, they're not.
Nothing ever comes down as much as it goes up, and then
Hmm.
and the electricity is gonna run short because we're adding all that space upstairs,
Mhm.
and we're already over, well, we're
right now we're closed and we're
trending
hoping-
to 65,000, but, so I'm just giving you FYI, if you have a special town meeting in the fall,
It's gonna be one of the
you're gonna have
accounts.
to think about, seeing where you're at that point and adding money to those budgets.
So it's a good exercise, Jeff, I suppose, as we close out a fiscal year to look at the accounts that are really low, and that instructs us for the.
Because we cut so much last
Yeah,
year out
my
of the
point.
budget.
Right,
yeah.
right. So, I mean, but, we know how many gallons we'll be bidding.
Mhm.
We'll get a new rate, probably in August or July.
Yeah.
And then, if it goes up,
Awesome.
80 cents a gallon, well, I don't know what's gonna go up,
Right.
right? You're gonna have to just do the math.
Yeah. And our hope is to be where we do have this contracted amount, fixed rate until the end of June. We're gonna try to top it off at the end of the June
Fill up all the tank.
at the lower
With
price.
the $2.99 and then.
So,
More brilliance late at night.
so we're asking for about half of what we might need at this point, just because we don't know what the rest of the season's gonna be like, if we're gonna be able to spend it all or not, and we're running like
Understood.
23,000, I think, left in the reserve fund that we don't wanna take it from everybody in case we don't need it.
So we're asking for your email bounce.
Well, you gotta
My
pay the bill.
computer does, sorry?
We have to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is to transfer from the reserve fund $3,000 to fuel oil, like some 192.
Second, you know,
We have a second.
second, yeah.
Yeah, there's a present balance of 1,657.10. And we have $23,531.50 available in reserves, so we're in good shape there. All right, anybody else? Any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call, Scott, aye.
Very high.
Sheena, I.
Heidi, I.
All right, approved 4-0.
June's office gets to be even.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I'm gonna try to get more information from the school on the breakdown tomorrow. Talk to the fire chief. Whatever information I'll send.
Thank you,
Okay,
Okay.
all right. So what is can you have the budget, what is the total increase in overall spending at the end, the percentage?
Thank you.
With the recommended number that we presently have?
Does this one show it here?
It should at the very end, just go way to the bottom after
There you
the last total.
Back to June.
So it's the FinCom budget, is that what percentage? 5.5?
Yep.
Okay. Well, actually, do you want to edit this or should I just edit it?
I cannot edit this.
Okay,
I have
no,
not-
I'm talking about the doc.
Oh, your document,
Yeah.
oh, if you wanna, I can show it up on the screen, you make the changes
Okay,
on yours.
Is that separate from this?
yes.
Yes.
So
This.
I think you're all
Thank you.
set.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow
Yep.
afternoon.
Yeah, in the afternoon. Okay.
I'll
I'll try to meet that chief first.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so all I'm doing is just at the first one there, the finance committee recommends the budget increases overall spending by, so it's 5.5% over fiscal year 26. This is essentially the same, it's the 4%. We still have the same recommended school number. And the numbers I just went through, I mean, again, this is what the numbers were. So if we took the it's like 404,000 is the 2.5%, plus you have the extra that got us the 4%, and then you add in $170,000, you get 817,000. If anybody wants to check my numbers on that, but and then of course the overall, it's 243,000 represents the portion funded from tax levy in excess of 2.5%. So there you basically figure out 404 plus 243 plus 170 should add up to 817. I think this will be the fourth straight year of a
Scott,
levy
you want me to
increase.
check those numbers?
Yeah, anybody wants to. And then the last one is that I have no idea what that's just a leftover sentence there. So I don't know if we really need anything else in the last sentence there.
That
And
paragraph, you need a word at the end of balancing this budget requires cuts by both.
I'm
The
just
word
getting rid of
cuts.
the whole sentence.
Are you getting rid of the whole sentence? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just giving overall what the numbers are. I don't think any other commentary really is needed. It's just that's the raw numbers, that's the raw facts.
Okay.
And I don't think anything else. So I'm just removing that whole last.
Were you
sentence.
editing on the fly there, June?
No,
Were
I'm
you able to
actually,
edit?
I'm
No,
actually
Scott's
doing it
editing.
here.
This one here,
Yeah,
Scott's got the actual,
Okay.
okay, then notable items in fiscal year 27. Just that one. So COLA, 3% cost of living adjustments is factored in for town non-union employee compensation. All right, we had, the recommendation was submitting level expense budgets. And unless there was something that was, like these are subcontractual or what the cost of something is, that the increase will be allowed.
Was it level expense or level service?
It was level expense.
That's the expense budgets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
the-
wages are dealt with in the previous paragraph, so that's just expenses.
Okay.
I had to read more from here. It was funny as I'm looking up there, and I think I'm moving my mouse and June's really hers.
Well, that was going on with the budget document. I finally went to one and had my
Yeah,
file, because
yeah.
it was making me nuts.
yeah, somebody was scaring me in there. I'm like, oh, that's not me moving it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
dueling. So,
Okay,
so in that Assabet section, an increase to
so,
our, not out,
all right, so.
minimum
yeah,
level
the
contribution.
Assessment had a net decrease of 16,000 or 1.9%. I have it in parentheses because it's negative. Or due to a combination of a decrease, what was it? A decrease in projected enrollment of 6 students. And from Berlin for FY 20, an increase to our, yes.
Yes, that
our,
was,
You're correct.
the substance was really good, Scott, which I just kept finding typos. So the brain was working.
Third line down. In Assabet.
I'm on the wrong. one there.
in
Right,
Assabet.
right before minimum level contribution.
Our. The speller checker cannot, I do a great job of this. I have a lot of typos that actually create words. So the spell checker doesn't do a dang thing. for me.
You just make up your own words. so.
Exactly.
It's no substitute for.
But
for-
thinkers don't actually type in
Right.
incorrect spelling. They actually type in just incorrect.
It's a real word, so yeah.
Yeah, it's all
That's
fine.
the dangerous thing about.
Yeah.
You just talk funny, that's all.
So, yeah. So that's, anybody have any other thing you want to say
Nope.
about that? I think that's basic there. Then Berlin Boylston Regional School District, actually recommends a budget increase of, this is just what, previous was 514K, 5.6%. I rounded, it was 5.55 or something, but for a total recommended assessment for Berlin of this and operating expense, capital cost, debt payment, 320,000. Well, actually, I had to reduce this one. Now, this is 100 and not 320,000. Well, so we have to make sure we have this right. So it's 162.
407.
Where you at?
You actually,
BBRFP.
the 9,000,007
Which number are you
was,
asking now?
I think, the 320, which is what you asked for less. Right?
Yes, correct.
So you're not gonna change the 320.
We were deadlocked unless somebody else wants to make a motion, right? We can deal with that later if somebody wants to make another motion with a different amount.
I didn't know if you wanted to add something back of as far as what the school came back with, or
So
Yeah,
you're
that's-
looking at the
well,
10 million
that's-
number that's in here?
That's where, right.
But
we have
that's the
to-
vote. That was what was approved.
that
at the
was
school
their
committee.
original.
Yeah, they
Because
haven't
they haven't
reconvened to
had
vote
another
again.
Correct.
committee meeting.
So we have to get the report in, so
Oh,
we have to do
yep,
it as of,
Yep, you're right.
as
Sorry.
of now.
do it.
Yep.
Keep it as the school committee voted.
Yeah, that's what it says. It was approved by the school committee.
All right, so I just
And
keep the
that's-
320.
That's the only
Yeah.
vote we have is the
Yeah.
March 10 vote.
Because obviously, when are they actually meeting the school committee? There's not gonna be any other meetings, so the
I don't know.
budget as it is right now would be incorrect if it goes out as into the warrant.
Well,
We're doing it on Tuesday, because right now, the
you want me to
recommended,
check?
or what they requested is that amount. It just causes all types of extra confusion. So either way, we agree that those numbers are correct. It's just a matter of whether we want to change them for the administration numbers. The BBRSD request operating assessment increase represents a 9 operating assessment increase. So this is what I did was just did the calculation of the operating numbers, taking out capital and so if we went to the spreadsheet, what this number 805,240 represents is it would be taking going the line on the left, 184 and line 186. And taking those two differences, and I calculated they represented 805,240 and 9.6%. I don't know if anybody wants to double check those numbers.
What paragraph you in?
So this is in my thing, I'm on paragraph D. The number that says the BBRC requested operating assessment increase of 805,240. Again, or do we not even want to break it out that way? Because this is what I did was I broke out the operating assessment. The next paragraph is the capital request compared to last year and the debt repayment compared to last year. So I broke out those 3 items where the operating assessment is just combining BMS and Tohoto operating together. Does it cause confusion? Does it cause clarity? Does it?
Confusion.
Well, one way to look at this, Scott, is because we know these numbers are in flux, maybe we don't go into the detail in our report. And then the debt repayment is fixed, but everything else is in flux. So you might be better off to just shorten the report, make it more likely somebody will read it. And leave the first paragraph,
Just the first paragraph.
Okay,
and I don't mind leaving the debt business in.
You could actually also add that, it's at, information there is, as of the time of this printing.
Yes, that's a good idea.
So that
too.
way there, if something should change,
Well, it is
well, we
gonna
hope
change.
that it's gonna change, but.
okay. So I'm removing, so I'll just have the so I'm getting rid of 2 paragraphs there, and I'm gonna say, so Berlin Boyles from either school, where should I put at the time of this printing? So should I put that
Here.
right after that first paragraph?
Yeah,
Should I put it in
Mhm.
parentheses or just in another sentence, or what do you think? At the time of this printing. Okay, so I put at the time of this printing, and then the next paragraph is the Tohoto debt repayment is an increase of over FY
So
'26.
these two you get, rid of.
Yes. That's gonna save me a lot of time.
too bad.
Okay, and you just added the other stuff up there, so.
And then we just have the BBRC administration work in collaboration with the finance committee to build their 2027 budget, the town district, then January, March. Communicate budget requests and revenues available. There was also consistent communication with the interim district superintendent, town administrator through the budget process. That is modified a little bit from last time, but
Hmm.
you know, at least we met, and the last time we met 3 times, this time twice, but. All right, next public safety, I just, last time we were hoping to move from 2 to 3, I just kept in there, continues to fund 3 police officers using public safety stabilization. And the recommended FY '27 adds, maybe I should make that 2027 for consistency.
Yeah, I saw that. Public safety. Yeah.
Yeah. Add 16,000, let's see, to police wages to convert one sergeant person to a lieutenant's position. I guess I get rid of person.
Sergeant person.
To a lieutenant's position. No additional full-time police officers are added in FY '27.
Do you need it to be lieutenant's permit position? Can it just be lieutenant position? Because you don't have it as sergeants.
Sure, that sounds good to me. All right,
Did you,
and I
the last one, is
modified
it
it.
FY '27 or is
Yeah,
it
I modified it
26?
to, I should say 2027 probably. I'm all over the place between 27 and 2027.
I just made it.
Okay, I'm listening to you. You can read and I can.
All right. Then we had the fire, this is where I got into confusion. Increase was impacted, well, I have it because they say by union. I don't know if it was new to union, was increased by, because there was 2 things, like the increase impact with the new union contract. Well, actually, I guess it's not a new union contract, right?
Just
Because they
union
started
contract.
acted by, we give new. 30,000 is added for part-time callbacks. This is also an additional 30,000 added revenue from ambulance receipts received. And then expenses expense increases were impacted by another 5K for uniforms, and I get rid of new union contract, and 14,000 EMS supplies. That was like the big one. I thought that was the EMS supplies was listed part of the extra stuff for the training and all that type of stuff, or what they're trying to get involved, but
Oh, for the
I'm not-
paramedic.
yeah, but I'm not gonna mention any more detail. I mean, that's like the big line item of why expenses went up.
The paragraph has two times new union contract appears. Did you?
I got rid
You
of-
got rid of the word new.
You got rid of both of them, okay.
This one?
Yeah, you got revenue both times. All right. Next COA was the COA wages, part-time item was reduced by 14,000 to fund one driver instead of two. The second driver position has remained unfilled. Anything, I think that summed that up. Benefits and.
But you
Yeah.
know that, there was a significant change. The COA director changed, not just the driver. Or am I confused?
This year, no, the COA director has stayed on. They've just increased her hours, but they already had we had
Oh, so the
budgeted
budget's no
last year.
impact, just hours impact.
Yes, in fact,
Got it.
actually, they did the
Never mind.
calculation, we probably could even reduce it by another, like,
Yeah, never
to
mind.
the 3,000.
I'm good.
Benefits, insurance, health insurance ratio up to 5.2% increase,
Uh-huh.
and then I made, I made it 2027. And the Worcester Regional Retirement Assessment increased by 10.1% to increased 83,000. Thanks. This is how Kristen played last time. I don't know. It works. And then we talked about library, a supplemental funding request was recommended for library to increase wages part-time by 16,000. I rounded, which will allow youth service hours to go from 18 to 30.
He's got under the treasurer collector. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I just had a question about library. Do we remember if we're going from 18 to 30, does that allow them to open the hours of the library differently too?
She didn't, we really didn't, I didn't have any notes of when.
Yeah, well, it's in here. It allows youth services hours to go from 18, and that's because they needed a second person to cover or something. There was something about it but
I know it lets
Yeah.
the person go from working 18 hours to 30 hours, but does that change the library's hours? 'Cause
I
I think,
didn't-
this
yeah.
is something I think
It
people
does.
would like to know.
it does.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
don't know if
ask,
it
I didn't
does.
ask that question and I had no notes on it this time. Last time that was very much the case.
Because I think,
There was something about the library hours. There was. Because they had the youth, unless I'm thinking from last year, which is a distinct possibility. But guess what? We have these Cracker Jack minutes.
she does a good job.
Just have to figure out which date it was. It was the 28, where's 28? Oh, no.
Need them all in one document so you can do a quick search. Or keyword US.
Library.
Then you just feed them into an AI model and you'll be all set. You can just
Thank you
ask the
very
question and
much.
there'll be we'll see
You're
how-
gonna replace
Do
me?
you-
No.
No.
So you wanted
No
to
way.
know if the actual library hours are
The actual
changing?
library hours.
I'll send Victoria an email.
Perfect. So like, if we say that and then say library this will allow the library to open on Friday from 10 to 1 or something, or 2 to 5, I think it's worth noting.
So libraries to stay at 30 hours a week, open hours, they have 2 staff persons during or open hours. That was, I think.
Yeah, you're looking at last year's, right?
I don't
This
think
was
so.
December of 25.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. it
Well, I'm
was-
not sure what,
Was that a supplement?
It's not a bit, I just thought it would be.
it was a supplemental, see it there. The
It
15,
was
the bottom one.
actually, I think,
It just,
I
yeah,
think it
it-
just goes to the
Doesn't-
youth services
Yeah.
librarian to be able to give
Yeah, just going.
more hours to the youth services, yeah. Which expands the number of hours that they can do youth services at the library. 'Cause they
But
do
not
that.
necessarily increase the library hours that are.
Not the
open.
opening hours, but the youth services hours. So
This
he's
is the,
got it.
this
It's
is the
right.
most
It's accurate.
clear, this is the most clear we've got here, and like I said, I had no notes, so.
Okay.
No,
Right,
I think you
myself.
have it right.
I don't think we asked that question. Okay, treasurer collector salaries, supplemental funding request recommended to fund a part-time payroll benefits coordinator at a cost of 30,000. The office is 6 months behind on benefits reconciliation and 2
So-
years behind on tax
So
title.
that kind of reads like not so cool.
It-
That second sentence, you might want to say due to a shortage of staff time. It's not that,
Office,
it's not that
6
they
months
can't
behind
do their
revenue,
job. They
2
don't have
years
enough
behind
hours.
tax title.
Gina,
Okay,
help me.
Yeah.
due to a shortage of staff time.
Thank you.
So that's why I put at the end, I added that to the end of the last sentence. Okay.
Perfect.
Town administrator salary, supplemental funding request recommended to convert the existing assistant to an assistant town administrator. Cost of 20,200 and add a part-time executive assistant at a cost of 30,300. That is, the only other thing I was gonna mention, first I was gonna say on there, because I know part of it, like, you were really behind in, was like all their procurement stuff of like,
Mhm.
the, the pavilion and, soccer fields and to help with, I don't know, anybody have a recommended way of commenting on that or just fine leaving it as is?
I'm sorry, about rec, you want to say
Well,
something?
no,
about
town
rec?
nothing about rec, town administrator salaries, the town administrator offices, because so many of, you have these small committees of people, right, that are, whether they have the expertise or stuff like that, but they, work with the town administrator on like, the procurement process where we're so far behind. Or else we just leave that as is. We don't have to really make any more comment.
I think I'd leave it.
All right, unless anybody else has a other idea. Building inspector salary, I went with the, as it is in the budget, BLDG. And the building inspector is retiring. The town will join a regional inspectional service with Boylston, West Boylston, Sterling. This will save 29K. This line item moves under the intergovernmental expenditures. And I just put in the actual 840-5701. So
The building commissioner.
Building commissioner.
That is his title,
Okay, the building.
commissioner.
Commissioner is retired. Okay.
Yeah, he won't be around to get insulted. Anyways. All right.
I can't
Okay, did
even
I
say
spell it
tonight.
right? Here, commissioner, there's so one S, right? Or two S's.
Well, that's definitely wrong. That's why I'm gonna.
Mine did not underline. I only put one S in. What
There's
happened?
no I.
No I
No
there.
second I.
There you go. Get rid of it. There you go.
Better.
And no first I. Commissioner. I don't know.
There you go.
It gave you a suggestion. There you go. Yes.
The suggestion is correct.
Well, it does require two S's.
I can see better over there than here.
I'm trying to do bivocal here. It's not working very well.
No.
Explain I did that correction. Next way I stopped on was petard. Is this felt right?
Nope.
Let's see, now I gotta get back to her. All
We're
right.
almost done.
Then the summary, the FY 27 budget, and I should make that 2027.
Yep.
Continues a spend rate that exceeds Newtown revenues. In the last 3 years, town's excess levy capacity has shrunk by 47%. I just went back to the levies as presented on the DLR page. And that this recommended budget will shrink it by 60% after this year.
Did you change spend?
No. What should I be saying?
Budget continues to spend rate.
Continues a
Budget continues to.
Can we come up with?
And it continues to spend at a rate that exceeds. Continues to
Continues to
spend at a
spend.
rate. Continues
At
to,
a rate
to
that
spend.
exceeds Newtown revenue.
yes. And then the recommended budget, if passed,
Recommend.
budget, if passed,
If passed, will shrink it by 60% after this year. And then I just, similar to the last time, while we acknowledge the increased level of services year over year the town must provide, we will continue to carefully scrutinize the growth of all town departments. Well, yeah, exactly. And then we get in and then we have Sheena in here. I got your name complete spelled right?
Yep.
Okay, replacing Cliff. And that was,
Is that the last
St.
line?
Patrick's Station took the O off her name.
Well, let me go down any further.
My last
Yeah,
name
that's
is
the last one.
auto-corrected to
Okay.
pirate.
so
before.
That's funny.
is there anything I missed that we should be adding in the? I just looked at the highlighted items. I
Yeah,
didn't see anything.
No, I think
but-
this was really well done, Scott. Very fast, came through this really,
Okay, so this is,
Go ahead.
I'm going
Go ahead.
to take the. Let me see, I'm gonna save it as,
pinch hit
not-
draft of this thing. It's not fun.
Control it. Now, we did say we might do something with library if we know. I'm just gonna call it final for now. Just so I have it saved.
The very
differently.
first line, you've got 2 X's on the overall percent increase in the budget, and I don't.
Yeah, I've corrected that
You got
because it
that,
was
okay.
5.5.
5.5.
Yes.
June, here's your request paperwork.
Oh, thank you.
It got stalled here because.
Scott was busy.
Scott was busy. So I went behind his back. Delivered it.
All right, so I think we have it, and then I will go to my mail, compose, and it will go to um,
You know who's gonna motion to adjourn?
Question before you.
Yeah.
adjourn. Currently, we don't have any other meetings scheduled. Except for the May 4th annual town meeting.
okay, so I need to, we need, what?
Well, the question would be is that right now, knock on wood, doesn't look like we need funds that I'm aware of at this point. Monday we'll know a little bit better. The fuel oil we did tonight, that may need to have additional funding before, and I'm hoping we have some available funds somewhere else so we can do line item transfers. Electricity, we think we're okay on, but that one could come in also. Snow and ice, we are doing free cash for the expenses, but there was a small overage of, I think it was $1,600
Overtime.
in overtime.
Yeah.
But he still has funds available in part-time, so we could do a line item transfer
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
So right now, that's all I'm aware of at this time. So I didn't know if you were comfortable with, because this is March, so all of April, beginning of May, and then maybe something in June, mid-June.
We'll definitely do so, yeah, have to definitely do something in June, so
Okay,
we're good
just-
probably from here to the, to
If,
town meeting.
if not, I will reach out, but I think at this point, we're okay.
And then,
And after that, and then July 15th actually falls on a Wednesday, so I don't know if that's
yeah, so,
the
Right.
final day though.
all right, so,
Good suggestion.
all right, so first we'll go with, what's the June, do you have a calendar they can bring up, and how does it look? Does anybody have what is, so June 15th is a Wednesday, or what is?
July 15th.
No,
July
June-
15th is
but what
actually a
is, like,
Wednesday.
June,
Um,
Is anybody on vacation or anything like that would not be available? You know that,
I think mid-July is gonna be right.
I
You've
have to
got
check 2 calendars.
I hear you.
yeah, you don't have to. have
10th
it
or
answered now.
17, 20. If we had any major things come up for payroll, we would need to do something before the last payroll, which would be in June 29th-ish.
Well, my thing ends in June.
That was gonna be my next question.
So I
is-
don't
Oh, you're
think I-
actually just got the 1 year.
Yeah, so I'm not even sure I
it.
could say something about July.
You're up at June 30th, you're filling out
Yeah,
the
it's-
rest of Cliff's term.
Yeah, as long as, I mean. I
It's a
don't
good
think,
time to,
I don't
nudge
think there'll be
Barry.
an issue, but yes, it'll be a matter of Barry being.
Because this has been so much fun for you and you really want to stay.
She likes us, I can tell.
I do. The liking is not good. It has nothing to do with
You don't
it.
like our hours. That's what
You don't like your hours.
So I mean, it's not anything you have to do. I was just thinking that if you're not meeting until May, that would be something to.
Do you want like earlier in June or nothing? Is there, does anybody have
I'm fine with
conflicts
July
in June?
15th if that works. I just being
Well,
honest to that.
the
I
thing
don't think
is,
that I
for June to close out her needs at the end of the year, we might be wise to pick a Wednesday towards the end of June.
Yeah.
Rather than July 15, because then if you're not re-upped or anything happens with your appointment, then we
Right.
still.
And we can always
have you.
cancel it if there's nothing going on too.
Yeah.
The
I'm
20
in school till June 22nd, so I'm not going anywhere.
I was gonna say, that if the 29th, that means the 22nd is a Wednesday. So is the 22nd good to put I'll just put something on the calendar.
22nd's June 22nd's a
Yeah, do
Monday.
a Wednesday,
Well, what's?
24th, there's a 24th, there's a
Oh, I thought
17th.
you said 29th. Oh, yeah, so we can do. Probably the 17th. I'm not. I know I'm more likely to be available the 17th. I'm not sure if I'm available the 24th.
So do we tentatively wanna
Do the
set
17th.
something up on the 17th?
Yeah, I'll set up something for the
Okay.
17th, just unless we have 2 people that know they're not gonna be around.
I'll be here.
And if we can also set one up for the July 15th, because that'll be the final.
And of course, the good thing is this is the one thing that we can discuss in the email
Yep.
is scheduling.
Schedules.
meetings. So,
Right. So we're tentative, and then May 4th meeting. I think I saw that the annual town meeting is going to start at 6:30 rather than 7:30. Did I see that? Where did I see that?
Um, I think you are.
And that means if we are having a meeting before we start the town meeting, then when should we meet on May 4th? And that needs to be posted, I think, as
yeah,
an agenda.
if we meet beforehand, then it would be 6 o'clock.
Mm.
Well, we can wait to see what the actual time is.
It is
but-
6:30.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it is 6:30 and I don't recall, I can find out pretty quickly if we have. We have a meeting posted for 7 on the 4th of May, so we just need to
amend that.
Amend that.
amend it to
Okay.
6.
All right.
And then
I'll-
who's doing that? Do you do
Oh.
that? Or Scott does? it?
I'll do it.
Then you're gonna put
I
in,
think I'm the
you're
only
gonna
one
put
that has
in
the
the
power to
meeting
do
for the other meeting would be tentatively the 17th of June.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the only one that's supposed to do it. I haven't heard any, the other problem I got, I don't know who is responsible for it. It's D Green, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just sending out the finance report here. We just attach that. Final. So, everybody's copied, town administrator, June, you're on it. So. One of the things I noticed is like whenever I change a meeting, I never paid attention to, you get the notification saying that something has changed. I notice it copies people, it copies it's still going to Stan, it's still going to Janet.
It's anybody who's still signed up to receive them.
I don't know how you unsign or up or sign in, and I had sent a thing to, cause I know a lot of that stuff is administered through, the town clerk
James
James Wheeler.
can help
I haven't
you.
heard any response, and when I also, last time I did something, I saw it still goes to the same people. That's not helpful.
Mm.
Yeah, no, because I wanted to get Sheena on it.
Mhm.
Obviously, I don't think Heidi, you're even on it, right? I don't think you get the notifications. I
think
think
so.
it's just Mary and myself. That get the notification. I won't probably get it because I'm modifying it.
Yeah, I got like 20 notifications all at once when we
No.
started the season.
Wow.
All at one time, they all,
Yeah, I'm sure Stan and Janet love getting all the notifications.
They miss us.
they do, they do.
Well, somewhere there's a master list. There's part of the scheduling thing that's got those names on it. Or is it drawing from somewhere
I
else?
don't
Yeah, I
know.
thought you had to sign up for it. I know like I signed up to receive notices for the select board and yours.
There's a place
I
to,
asked for it though,
there is a place for that, just.
but I don't know where.
If you do find it or ask somebody,
Okay.
that's, let me know
All right.
or let us know and we'll distribute it. It'd be like, say, nice to also get people that,
So when you go into the
it's just
schedule,
an
Scott, you say send it to the finance committee, but then you have to add.
I don't say send it, all I do is modify, and all that sending, it just does it on
That's
its
why,
own.
yeah, it's done in
Oh.
the background. I'm not sure how or where, but
And the only reason I even noticed was, I think the first name I could see, one time I just was paying attention, because it has like the CC list. And also like, why is, it was probably Stan, like,
Mhm.
why is he?
he's still getting it.
Yeah.
That's because he still wants to be part of this. That's-
Yeah, I'm sure he does not have an objection to being removed from those notifications.
I have
All right.
a question, something that just popped up on my email. I got a request to share some FinCom meeting minutes from Mary Stefanik. Do we know that name?
I know that you got it pop. Oh, don't worry, that's never mind.
Were you using?
I accidentally did something.
Okay.
And I was in a Google account.
Because I recognize the last name. I'm like, okay, this
I
is
go,
a
it's like,
coincidence.
My
Mother-in-law?
My wife's aunt. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it must have been into her email account. So when
Okay.
I was trying to find the minutes, and I must have
Oh,
went to
just
a wrong,
kinda-
and when I clicked on it, it said, oh, you need permission, and I accidentally then hit just before this.
Okay. I'm like, I'll share it if
No, she
we know
doesn't.
who this is, but.
She would love it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an expert, she doesn't care. Okay, so everything else set, there's just a motion to adjourn. All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.